And three. Hey, what's up? This is Wilson, and I'm back with Lard again. Today we're gonna talk about something that is a popular subject between Lard and I, but I haven't talked about it here. The end of the world. What's up with the apocalypse? Um, I think one thing I noticed is with COVID, it got everybody's hopes up, or everybody that is pro-apocalypse, and that seemed like a big final moment. But then again, it felt like that, with 9/11. I remember with that, um, I was really high on 9/11 and I called up my mom and she was like, "Oh yeah, this is it. You're gonna have to come up to the mountains with us." So that was a thing. But then, since then I was kind of studying this topic a little more and thinking about how, and particularly I think within the last 10 years it's gotten a more momentum in the collective consciousness in the media. So we either think of a post-apocalyptic scenario where it's like Mad Max or The Walking Dead, but apocalypse really means, in Greek, it means to reveal. Um so that could be something separate from the end of the world. So we're gonna kind of talk about both things. What are your favorite end of the world scenarios?
Well, first of all, hello everyone, Lard from Lard Labs. I'm grateful to be here again. It's kind of cool to be a recurring character on your channel. Um, I love that you asked me to do this topic because I literally was one of those weirdos who was like completely obsessed with the end of the world, like die hard. I really thought the world was going to end with the Mayan calendar in 2012. In fact, when it didn't, I remember the very next day waking up being like, shit, that means I gotta participate. So I love that you clarified the root of the meaning of the word to reveal because it really, revealed the mind state that I was in, that I felt like so with like having so little control of my own life that it only made sense that everything had to be destroyed.
Right.
But because I couldn't do it for myself, I had to take out everybody with me. Talk about selfish.
And
Um,
kind of think about like when you put it in terms of like reveal, it like big events like 9/11 or COVID, then it did reveal a lot of the population and their stances on things. And when everybody kind of showed their cards of how they would react to something like this, I remember, it was a direct contrast, like a lot of the people that have been talking about, oh, when the zombie apocalypse comes, this is gonna happen. And
right,
then
right.
they were like hiding under their bed during um that event. I was like, well, I'm not gonna forget that. It lets me
Easy
know how
target.
reliable you're gonna be with the zombies. If that, and once again, that's one of these scenarios. Is it possible? Yes. But you brought up the Mayan calendar thing. I mean, just think about how many like these types of things we've had. Like there was Y2K, remember when that was a
Yeah,
thing?
duct tape on the windows.
Yeah. Y2K was we thought that the computers were going to shut down and everything was going to end. Now that has translated into
AI apocalypse.
AI apocalypse, which and I know that you're very active with um your chat GPT, but the ones I've used don't remember shit. I don't see them being able to like, if you're
Oh yeah, no, they're
maintaining a
retarded.
constant narrative, or you're going to take over the world. You're going to have a little bit better memory than that. And maybe there is like we're probably getting the plebeian version of that. I'm sure the
Yeah, you
government
have to
is
pay
like,
for memory, like most things. So maybe they'll kill the rich people.
I don't know, maybe that's who they thrive on because they're paying for more memory. It's
Yeah.
what helps them grow. Maybe they live off Bitcoin, like they're like Bitcoin vampires.
I knew there's a reason to make lard coin. I'm gonna
Right.
bribe the
There you go.
AI.
So yeah, so I think we got two separate things. Even if you took the like pedestrian version of apocalypse, which means kind of like the Book of Revelation type thing, is different than the end of the world. So the end of the world is like destruction of everything, right?
Right.
So that means that people can go in the world still here. So that's technically not the end of the world.
Oh, good
If
point.
we've got roaches and weasels and, you know, mockingbirds, it's just
Hmm.
they've just eliminated the problem.
Yeah,
Um,
of the people you don't like's world.
right, exactly. Well, I think that that is, or there's a lot of people that are kind of martyrs for it, that their obsession about it is how they're the victims and this is coming about. So then I think that there's a little bit of revealing in that, and the I think we've talked about how in this post-apocalyptic fantasy that's it's probably already here. It's just it looks much more
Yes.
mundane,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, we were talking about the other day. I 100% believe we're already in the apocalypse of the World War III, you know. Uh,
Right,
it just the propaganda from like Hollywood and the media or whatever being like it's going to look like The Walking Dead. So people that's what they're looking for and like championing, which is weird because like you said, if that was really happening, 99.9% of the people are just going to be wiped out instantly, you know.
right, yeah. And so then another thing too is that I was watching a lot of these post rapture TikToks. And there's like several comedians that like to riff off that. And it did kind of bring up the thought of so after the rapture, there's supposed to be a 7 year time of tribulation, and all the check marks of what the famine and war and all that happens during that time. It's
Oh,
just stuff that's in the news today. So,
like
I
an
mean,
extended
maybe the
glow
rapture is
burn.
only like a very small VIP list on that one. And so we're all living in that. Uh which is one, so in the book of Revelations is like the Shakespeare of the apocalypse,
Yeah, yeah,
because it's the most flowery description. You can swing it either way. I think that and Hollywood's a good kind of barometer for that because like The Omen and all those movies about the Antichrist, that it looks a lot different, I think, today. I did like uh David Icke's description of the Archon and how they're so much like AI. It's about something that can't create from scratch. It can only work with what you're giving it. So
mm,
I guess in that realm, AI could be the Antichrist. I'm open to that. I'm open to that. And then we have like, and I know you listen to Mysterious Universe, and they talk about this a lot. Is like the Kali Yuga is another kind of a different culture, but a same theory or premise, except it's more like the revealing of where it's the end of an era. Like, there's a big book about the fourth turning and how we go through all these cycles and
yeah. It definitely seemed like a more positive view, the end of the world, where it's not really an end of end all be all, where there's poof, everything is gone, but it's like you said, a new cycle. I mean, I listened to that Mysterious Universe episode with Bibu Dev Misra, who's this is his body of work is the Kali Yuga, which apparently ended in March of 2025, which means we are currently living in the apocalypse.
but
But spoiler,
oops, we missed that one.
yeah, I was like, oh, where is
I mean,
it?
but isn't that the way to throw an apocalypse? I mean, it's not like going to be a surprise party. Like you just wake up one day and everybody's in like gas masks. Surprise, it's over.
Right. But it is interesting that I can only speak as an American. In American culture, we're so indoctrinated with the apocalypse looking a certain way that it's. I wonder if we were almost like numb to it. So even if it did come, like it's just like over our heads, you know.
Oh yeah, totally. I think that's
It's more like a
very
it's
real.
voluntarily like sucking the apocalypse off.
Yeah, it's kind of like World War Three. Everybody's expecting it to like look like World War Two, but you know, that's not a thing. It's all drones. It's all proxy wars. It couldn't look like that because just think if like World War Two broke out, what social media would look like. You know, that would be a
That's the other thing, and that's sort of what broke my apocalypse fantasy. Is I really like the internet. Like in a post-apocalyptic world, if we went down the Walking Dead path, there's no more internet.
no. And that's a thing. I mean, I guess you could generate, I mean, but then it's like, well, where are you pulling it from?
Yeah, I mean that's
It's
why I guess you
basically a
got to bribe
speaking
the
cell at that
AI.
point. Unless AI, so an AI takeover could look like free internet, because that's how they live. It
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
make
want to
sense to use
guarantee their
internet. Everybody
existence.
should probably have it implanted.
Yeah,
Um,
right, right. You can live if we can live in you.
right. That'll be like a vaccine where they install AI in you. So then there's internet in that. In fact, that's all there is internet. Which could be another reveal is that it's all a simulation. Could be part of a reveal.
Well, it is a simulation. Which is why the Christians are freaking out about the AI in the first place.
Right. But the yeah, and the simulation, I think that there's a lot of people are aware of that. But it's kind of like Bigfoot. In fact, Bigfoot might have better PR than the simulation theory, you know? 'Cause you see him
You
at
have
like
something to focus on. Bigfoot's easier to wrap your head around versus
right,
like we're living in an infinite matrix.
big monkey. Reality is not real. That's that's a hard left turn.
Chimpanzee, bro. I just had to throw that in
Yeah,
there.
and then chimpanzees could very easily be in part of the simulation. We could be like they live, when they put on those glasses and then they see people for what they are. It'd be funny if one demographic all of a sudden was chimpanzee bros and they had been all along, but we'd been perceiving them as something else.
Yeah, maybe I'm a chimpanzee zebra clone in a lard costume.
I mean, that's just possible. I mean, but just think about if you like put on those glasses and then you like turn on the TV and you're like watching sports and all of a sudden all these chimpanzee bros were playing basketball. That would be a lot.
I think we went on a weird detour. Okay, apocalypse. Where's your list?
So my favorite theories, um, I guess if we're going through that would be, I mean, I've always liked the whole like I guess The Stand left a taste in my mouth as a kid, that Stephen King book where there was a disease called Captain Trips.
Oh,
And
disease apocalypse. Ugh.
yeah, so it's and that so a disease apocalypse is always that could be because then you can get mutants out of it, all types of
Mm.
things.
No, that's too scary. I think I would prefer the zombie one. It makes it like, I mean, I've never killed anyone, but I feel like if they're a zombie, it would be easier in theory to kill them versus like
A
a
diseased
sick, a
mutant.
diseased human. Yeah. Because they still have their humanity. And then, you know,
But not if you think of it, like
as a zombie disease.
well, I mean maybe they could just have like big pussy heads that swell up 4 times the size of normal.
Oh, then we're going to wear like special suits so we don't get covered in pus slime.
Yeah, because then that's toxic. And they will like randomly burst if their heart rate gets, over a certain.
Ugh.
There we go. So there's
Oh
one
man.
theory. What about you? Give me one.
Well, I mean, since I'm sort of a sadist sometimes, I do like the psychological apocalypse that we are currently in.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, because it doesn't mean end of the world. It just means end of the world of people I don't like.
Yeah, I mean, so in the current state, the thing is it could use more flair. You know,
Yeah, it's boring to look at because
somebody
it's just
needs to fire the
people terrorizing themselves.
costume designer for this one. You know, we need something more aesthetic. Which I would think as an artist you could appreciate having a more aesthetic apocalypse, but
Yeah, but I like minimalism, so
um,
that you know.
just a slight touch of something different.
Like, that's why you're a theater kid.
Yeah, because I had to have all the bombast of exploding heads. Yeah, so there's that one. I mean, a biblical one could be interesting.
I feel like that would be a happy medium, maybe.
Yeah, we get a bunch of plagues and things, but they have to be like those spectacular, like Moses style plagues.
Like, like
I would be out for the frogs if it starts raining frogs and that's it. I'm out of here. Uh, but
hmm,
yeah, I'll take some. I'll take something else. I mean, it could. I mean, we already did frogs. I would think if it's a some type of infinite spiritual reality would give us
raining
something
piranhas,
good.
maybe.
That could be fun. Rainy piranhas, I could work with that. I mean, they have funny faces, you know.
Yeah.
Nothing too slimy. I mean, that's really frogs just remind me of boogers, so that's a I'm a
I'll take the
texture.
frogs over the pus heads, though. Ugh, but like those
I
pop.
mean, you can combine the two, have their heads explode and frogs jump out. That would be like whatever animal. I guess this is part of the disease, but whatever animal bites you, you get infected with their DNA and it replicates, it burrows inside of your head and then explodes. So you get bit by a skunk, you got skunks flying out, you get, you know,
Oh, that means there really is no escape because you can't go into the wilderness and you're
right,
effed.
more animals.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
it seems like, you know, it's a mother nature type thing. It's the, you know, nature fighting back,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
replicating itself. So that if anybody from the Matrix is listening, I think that would be a suitable punishment.
I guess, in my apocalypse fantasy, though, oddly, well, I guess it's not human nature. I always survive it for some, like, I haven't gone the route where maybe once during like a plague, I was like, oh, I'm fucked, especially like a lung plague, which is funny that I'm still alive post the lung plague. Hmm.
So I've always kind of I end it, it's a go as far north as I can and pull a Frankenstein where I just kind of like I'm out on a glacier that breaks away and I just drift off and freeze.
No, that doesn't, because the reason
And
I
I'm wrapped
survive
up
in
in a
my
blanket
apocalypse
and
is because
so
I
it
meet
looked
up
like
with you.
you see
But
you
if you
all see
float
me.
away on an iceberg, I'm effed.
Well, I mean, but you get your own iceberg, but that's how it goes. You know, that's the lonely dramatic suicide by freezing. Um, but you know, it could come to that. You gotta, I'm open-minded. I like to consider all the possibilities and not shoot anything down. I'm willing to go in any direction with it.
Uh,
But we got preferences, and that's what we're talking about. And you know, I think that it is also worth when we talk about, well, how is it that people are so obsessed with this? I think it's because everybody like wants to know how the story's going to end, you know?
yeah, yeah. Because we're in one giant death cult.
And there's the problem, you know, where people won't accept that everything's going to end. You know, I've been in plenty of, particularly around this time, you know, 12-step meetings where people were talking about how they were afraid of death. I was like, well, I would like to see the show of hands, everybody at this meeting, who's not going to die. Let's see.
I just rub it in. I
So,
mean, death is only a crossroads anyway, so
I mean, maybe you get reset. It's kind of like a video. If it's the simulation, then what you just get deleted, go back into the mainframe, or do you like start back over, but without all your loot? I think is probably
I mean, yeah, it's a crapshoot. It's like the kids who remember their past lives. Why do some do and some don't? I
maybe
don't.
just become an NPC.
MTC or seed?
NPC.
Oh, yeah, more than likely.
I have these gifts. Welcome to my tavern, fellow travelers. Yeah, you're just and I was just about to catch that monkey disease. Bunch of monkeys were about to burst from my head. Which we need to talk about how monkeypox was such a missed opportunity. You know, I mean, that would
Yeah,
have been a much. Just think about the monkey apocalypse. That would have been.
exploding monkeys.
Well, no, monkeypox. I mean, it
Oh,
all
you mean
it
like
was
popping
very
under?
short-lived. It didn't focus groups didn't like it, so they got rid of it.
Yeah,
People felt it was offensive because certain communities were getting it, and then they were still calling it monkeypox, and then they tried to come up with other names for it, and it just didn't stick.
wasn't brandable, I guess, on a global scale.
Yeah. And I think that's how you have to have a brandable apocalypse, really, when you think about it. And nobody, what else are they going to do? People aren't going to buy it. They'll just sit at home and have to wait for it to roll through. I think if you want to control people, make them afraid, you got to sell them something that's memorable.
Yeah, monkeys are too cute. Rat plague would have made more sense, or
Yeah, I mean, they already did that one, though.
oh yeah, shit.
Black Death.
Yeah.
Which, when it warrants to say this is something that's been happening for a long time because there were a lot of people that thought the Black Death was the end of the world.
Now I kind of feel like I want to start a beginning of the world cult.
Well, because then you have to be there from when it begins again. The NPC
We're
Jesus.
obsessed with the beginning.
Yeah. Everybody's done the end. How about the beginning? This is called regenesis.
Yeah. Today we have birthed again for the
If you
first
sign up
time.
now, when you regenerate, you'll get these great prizes.
For 99.99.
Don't want to regenerate as an NPC? Here's the key.
Pay me.
Yeah, pay me now, and you can get these. The first step into the new simulation. It's like a beta test.
Yeah.
People love beta tests.
Actually, I watched a movie recently. Shoot, I don't remember the name of it, but essentially they scammed a bunch of rich people into thinking it was the apocalypse, and they had bought money, or they had paid for like a space in this bunker, and we come to find out that the whole thing was simulated so that they could get the money from the rich people and fuck with them while they're in the bunker.
Okay, that could be fun.
So like maybe apocalypse is big business, because you're right, keeps people in fear.
I mean, then there is always stuff to sell. I mean, just think about when people say, well, there has to be, for a conspiracy, the tried and true test for it is who's got something to gain. And we talked about this before, where do we follow the money? If you can follow the money and somebody's got something to gain, it's no longer a theory.
Mm,
It's a marketing system that's in practice and just, they don't let you see the man behind the curtain, which is anybody, that's Kellogg's, that's, you know, Johnson and Johnson. It's any big company like that. They don't let people go to those board meetings.
right.
Funny enough, I was at a grocery store and there was a lady wearing a hat that said dairy is rape. And oh, I shouldn't have said that word, but that's what the hat said. But
Radical. Terry is radical. That's the
and
first R word that came to mind.
And
Oh,
then
we're frozen.
uh
Uh-oh.
are you frozen?
Oh no, you're back. They froze
Oh,
us.
it's because I
Conspiracy.
said the word. But yeah, went on to tell me about how Fairlife Milk has all these, they're like smuggling these cows and getting them inseminated and all this crazy stuff,
How long did you talk with her? Or you just
I mean, she ran it for about 10 minutes.
oh wow.
And because I'm always
Passion.
welcome to hear her son came up and introduced himself as Evan, as in vegan. And
Oh
it's getting wild
no.
out there. But he was
Hmm.
probably 12. He was old enough to know better. Um,
Oh, maybe he felt special for the spelling.
yeah, I guess so. It's all he wanted to be was an anagram. And but the point being is that, dairy companies, they're all dairy companies. She was focusing on Fairlife because they're supposed to be this organic hippie milk.
Mm. Branding.
I'm sure, they're probably raping the almonds to make almond milk. Who knows? I don't know. Really shaking that tree? I'm not sure.
Oh boy.
It can happen.
This is a special episode. There goes the end of Abysmal Hymns.
But
Uh,
I think we need to have the most laughter on this episode because, I mean, really, when you think about it, Apocalypse anywhere it goes is going to be hilarious. I mean, I can't think of a situation that's not. Um,
well, actually, it's humorous because I really just went through my own apocalypse,
right, yeah. And so
Like, I
surviving
just
that.
destroyed the Lard verse, but I'm still here.
Yeah. I mean, the same thing, was interesting too with like the hurricane thing when all that went down.
Oh, yeah.
Um, then, you lose everything, and then it's like, well, none of that shit really mattered to begin with. You know,
Right. Right.
I just missed the air conditioning not being on, That was that was the most, and I literally thought in that moment, when an apocalypse comes and we lose whether, because EMP is one of those things where they knock out the grid, and that's pretty realistic.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to be up north. And so I think, Colorado is probably a good idea. Um, Canada, I don't know, something about Canada. There's some areas that look all right, some I don't know, but I think once you lose the AC, then it doesn't matter what it looks like.
Yeah. Well, actually, though, with global warming apocalypse, it's getting warm everywhere.
Right. That's
So it's
true.
sort of
But
survival of the fittest, regardless of where you are.
yeah, I mean, there's that, but I mean, at some point, even then, how much warmer is it going to get in a place that's normally 10 degrees?
True. That's fair.
That's
That's
why you
fair.
got to head as north. Like
Right.
whatever is like in you can't inhabit right now, that's the prime real estate that people aren't even looking at.
Hmm. Well, I guess for you, it's good because you're down with freezing to death.
Yeah.
You can give yourself all sorts of options.
Right. I'll be halfway there. Just because think down here how bad the mosquitoes will be. I mean, even Georgia, you'll have to be north of Ohio for mosquitoes to not just totally devour you.
Well, also, I think remember with lockdowns, they said it was 2 weeks before animals returned to places that they weren't.
Hmm.
So that's the window you're working with on top of.
Yeah. So you got 2 weeks. 2 weeks before you get cooked. And that's a fair time frame. I think that being able to mobilize within 2 weeks is see how far you can get. I don't know. I'm sure people will try to complicate it, but
Yeah, well, when they block the highway
right,
with
yeah,
their fear.
right. Then you have to like get some bikes. I think that's the key is to start getting good at your dirt bikes now. Maybe have like portable ramps that you can like set up real quick if you have to like get over some terrain, just kind of
I
jump in.
I just pictured off-road segways because when you run out of gas, the motorbikes are useless. But the
Yeah,
segways go on science, I guess, right? I don't know
right.
how they work.
Yeah. Some of them are electric. Yeah, I'm sure solar powered segways. That would be something to look into. Solar power seems like that's going to be definitely one of the things for this new turning point. I heard this one guy talking about was clean energy and AI was mixed in that somewhere. I forget what the third one was. It probably doesn't matter. It was something that'll never exist anyway. But yeah, so clean energy, that solar
I mean,
power.
they've been talking about clean energy for a while. That's not really new. But I mean, again,
They've
we
been talking
always,
not as long as they've been talking about the apocalypse, though.
well, but human nature, it's like, and I, speaking from my own experience, and definitely in the past, I don't change unless I get to the point where I have no other choice but to change, you know?
Right.
So, like in California, there's so many things that could have been implemented for, safety or just against like utilities and things like that. But it took burning down California to implement building materials that are fire retardant in fire prone areas.
Right. Which is strange because with California, everything is just retardant. So,
It's a retardant. Actually, that's one apocalypse that really scares me and kept me away from ever moving to California is the earthquakes. You can't run away. You
hmm,
definitely need wings for that.
right.
The ground
A
collapses below you.
Segway will not save you, but those dirt bike ramps, that's something to think over. There's some system, it needs to like almost like shoot out of your back. You go over it, you have a hook that attaches, it flips back onto your backpack, so it's an ever evolving wheel almost.
Oh
Thing to
man,
think
that
about.
made me think of Twisted Metal
Yeah,
and the guy in the wheel car.
I'm sure that they have things like that. I've never played that game. I'm aware of what it is.
What?
There's
That was
one.
my favorite game as a kid. That's crazy.
I know
Oh,
there's
you want to see it?
killer clowns and like skull cars and things.
Clown cars.
Yeah, well, they're clowns in cars, but maybe there are clown cars.
Maybe that's why people are so obsessed with the apocalypse because we've succumbed to the program to such an extent and like killed our own creativity that the apocalypse, gives us a place to express ourselves in ways that we don't want people to know currently, even though we broadcast ourselves on the internet.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. It's kind of like, how I get excited about cannibalism in the apocalypse.
I was waiting for you to
Uh,
bring that up. I was like, no.
you know,
Another
that's the
a
only
con
time where
on my
that's going to
list of
be
why would
acceptable, or you get a pass. So,
no. It was on my pro or con list. You fall under con when it comes to cannibalism.
I can just have a little rib shack to myself. It's fine.
Yeah, I guess more meat for you, as long
Right.
as you
I'll need the
probably eat
protein.
meat.
I'll need the protein because I'm going to rob every single gym and I'm just a big sprawling gym eating people. That's, that's the kind of apocalyptic fantasy that we love, but, probably never come to that. And that's the
Thank God for that.
no, no barbecue gym shack. That will be Gym Shark, kind of, because the shark eats people. So maybe that company is kind of,
Onto something.
right. They got some bunkers somewhere feeding people to sharks for the apocalypse. Um, it could happen. But thank you guys for listening. And,
Yeah, perfect way to end it.
would like to hear your theories about the apocalypse. We'll keep this narrative going as we get closer to the date. Um, so this is not the last time we'll talk about it, but it certainly is the first. So remember to like and subscribe.